This book is here story time from another first responder, a nurse named Alicia, and she says she works at a level 1 trauma center in adult emergency room services, and she's had a few strange experiences over the years, over her career, but this experience really stands out as the strangest. So this woman comes in with chest pain, and she's taken a triage, and she's explaining that she's had this long history of heart problems, and so she's admitted to a room rather quickly. And in the room, once she's hooked up to cardiac monitors, they are doing all kinds of tests, and the doctor is saying out loud what kind of blood work he wants done, and he also orders an EKG, which Alicia explained to me as basically a snapshot of cardiac activity so they can make sure that she's not having a heart attack. And as this is all going on, Alicia's explaining to the patient what's happening. She's explaining to her why the blood's being drawn, why they ordered an EKG, and what that will show. And as she's talking to the patient just freezes, and her eyes roll back, open, and her head fell back, her heart flatlined, and the doctor's yelling for help. The room fills with other people very quickly, and they're working on this patient to get her heart activity back to normal. And they're working on her for almost 45 minutes when all of a sudden they get cardiac activity again. I'm not sure where in this 45 minutes her heart started beating again, but Alicia says they were doing CPR, they were doing all kinds of things to basically bring her back. And as she starts to come back, she looks at Alicia kind of like half eyes open, and she goes, "Pop says to have your heart checked." Alicia asked her to repeat what she just said, and the woman says, "I didn't say anything." And she looks around the room, and everyone's kind of looking strangely at this woman. She's never met her before, and they're asking this woman all kinds of questions, and she believes that she had just simply passed out for a moment. Had no idea that she flatlined or anything like that. But Alicia didn't know how to tell this woman or anybody else standing in the room that almost 2 years to the date, her father-in-law had passed away, who she called Pops, a heart attack. And so she goes home and she thinks about this for a few days because she's like, that's so strange. And she decides that she's just going to take the warning and she's going to go have her heart check, even though she's had no health problems before. She comes home from the doctor. She ends up having to wear a device for about a week to monitor her cardiac activity. And it turns out she has an arrhythmia, which basically means that it's a regular heart activity. She hadn't known about this before, and she assumed it was just from an overconsumption of caffeine. But either way, she's on medication for it now, and she's supposed to decrease her caffeine intake as well. Luckily, nothing worse ever happened, but she did say that had it not been for this patient calling out this strange warning from Pops, she wouldn't have known, and who knows what would have happened. I love first responder stories. If you have a story that you think nobody else would believe from work or otherwise, please send it in. We would love to hear it.